Well, hello, Christian Academy. Dr. Shell here. Well, what you're about to listen to is a Christmas gift. It's the Christmas Carol done as a radio show. The faculty at Rock Creek for the last 4 years have gotten together the last Friday before school let out for the holiday break, and we have we broadcast the Christmas Carol radio show over the intercom. And so classes got together, sat around, turned on the speaker, and listened to us produce the Christmas Carol. There's nothing to watch. It's not a play. It's a radio play. And some of you might want to talk to your grandparents and maybe great-grandparents about what it was like before television. And families had radios, and they not only got news and music on the radio, but there were radio dramas, there were mysteries, and there were all kinds of stories that were broadcast over the radio that people could listen to and enjoy for entertainment. And so we've done this for the last couple of years, and so we've always done it live. And the students were in their classroom listening to the Christmas Carol. This year, because of the pandemic, we can't do it live, so we're recording it. And then we thought, since we're recording it, we should share it not only to our Rock Creek family, but to all our Christian Academy families. And you can feel free to share this with anybody you want to. So to really get the experience, there's nothing really to watch. After this video is over, there'll be just a kind of a basic picture, but it's more about listening. And we had to do sound effects, and we had to do singing, and we did it all live. So I hope you'll enjoy it as we recorded it together. So get some popcorn and turn up the volume, sit around with your family, get cozy by the fireplace, and enjoy our presentation of the Christmas Carol.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our presentation of Charles Dickens' timeless holiday classic, A Christmas Carol, on WCAL Radio. Brought to you by the creative faculty of Christian Academy of Louisville, Rock Creek campus. And now we take you to London, England, in the year 1843.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day.
Of all the good days of the year, on this Christmas Eve, old Ebenezer Scrooge, that cold-hearted, scarping, clutching, covetous old sinner, sat busy in his counting house, counting his money. Old Scrooge was hard and sharp as flint, he was. The coldness towards all mankind that he carried within him froze his old features, nipped his pointed nose, shriveled his cheek, stiffened his gait, made his eyes red, his thin lips blue, and spoke out to the world in his grating voice.
Ah, humbug.
Scrooge's partner, Jacob Marley, had been dead these 7 years. There was no doubt whatever about that. Old Marley was as dead as a doornail. But in those 7 years, the sign above the door remained Scrooge and Marley. Scrooge never painted out Marley's name. It was cold weather that day. Scrooge could hear the people going up and down the street outside his counting house, stamping their feet on the pavement to keep warm. The door of Scrooge's office was open so that he could keep his eye on his clerk, Bob Cratchit, who sat in a cold and dismal little room working on his ledgers. 19, 20, 21, let nothing you dismay. 23, 29, K2, on Christmas Day.
Cratchit!
Yes, Mr. Scrooge.
Stop that infernal caterwauling.
Yes, sir, Mr. Scrooge. Very sorry, sir. I was caught up in the Christmas spirit.
Christmas. Bah, humbug.
Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you.
Bah, humbug!
Christmas? A humbug, Uncle? You don't mean that, I'm sure.
Oh, I do. What's Christmas time to you but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer? If I had my will, every idiot who goes about with a Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stick of holly through his heart. He should...
Uncle?
Nephew, keep Christmas your way and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it, but you don't keep it.
Oh, then let me leave it alone then. Much good may it do you. Much good has it done anyone.
Well, there are many things by which I might have derived good, by which I might have profited, I dare say Christmas among the rest. But I am sure that I have always thought of Christmas time, when it comes round, as a good, kind, forgiving, charitable, and pleasant time. A time when men and women seem to, in one consent, open their shut-up hearts. And therefore, Uncle, although it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good and will do me good, and I say God bless it.
Amen. God bless Christmas. Hooray!
Let me hear another sound from you, Bob Cratchit, and you'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation.
Yes, Mr. Scrooge.
As for you, nephew, you're quite a powerful speaker, sir. You talk enough nonsense to go into Parliament.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Why can't we be friends? Come and dine with me tomorrow.
Good afternoon.
But, Uncle,
Why did you get married, nephew?
because I fell in love.
Well, because I fell in love. Because that's the only thing in the world more ridiculous than a merry Christmas. Good afternoon.
Nay, Uncle, but you never came to see me before that happened. Why give it as a reason now?
Good afternoon.
Well, I am sorry with all my heart to find you so resolute. But I have made my trial in homage to Christmas, and I shall keep my Christmas humor to the last. So I say, Merry Christmas to you, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, Bob Cratchit.
Merry Christmas, sir. God bless it. And now, a word from our sponsor, Holiday Homework.
Holiday homework, recommended by 3 or 4 people who pretend to be doctors. During Christmas break, many students get sad. Not depressed, but suffering from SAD. S-A-D-D. School Assignment Deficiency Disorder. Parents, don't let this happen to your child. There is a solution. Holiday homework. That's right. Just go to holidayhomework.com and you can get your daily dose of school assignments, worksheets, math problems. You can even have them sent directly to your inbox every day. Don't be SAD this holiday. Get holiday homework today.
Who's there now? Go see who it is.
Yes, Mr. Scrooge. In walked a friendly soul with a kind face.
Oh, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Is this the firm of Scrooge and Marley?
Yes, sir.
And have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Jacob Marley has been dead these 7 years. He died 7 years ago this very night.
Well, then, Mr. Scrooge, I presume, at this festive season of the year, a few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some food and drink and means of warmth. Many thousands of the poor are in want of common necessities and suffer greatly at this present time.
Yes, are there no prisons?
Oh, there are plenty of prisons, Mr. Scrooge.
Oh, in the workhouses. They're still in operation, I trust?
Oh, I wish I could say they are not, but they are. All of these institutions that you mentioned are flourishing, and but it is still true that some provision for the poor and destitute must be made. What shall I put you down for?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, you wish to remain anonymous.
I wish to be left alone. Since you asked me what I wish, sir, that is my answer. I don't make myself merry at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry. I help support the prisons and the workhouses. Those who are badly off must go there.
Oh, many can't go there, sir, and many would rather die.
Oh, if they would rather die, they had better do it and decrease the surplus population. Good day.
Oh, very well, Mr. Scrooge. Good afternoon, and Merry Christmas to you.
Meanwhile, afternoon gave way to evening, foggier and colder. The darkness thickened, and the hour came for Scrooge to close up the counting house. Sir, it's getting a little dark. Hard to see the figures.
Humbug. Bob Cratchit.
Yes, sir.
You'll want all day tomorrow, I suppose?
If it's quite convenient, sir.
Oh, it's not convenient. And it's not fair. If I was to stop half a crown for it, you'd think yourself mightily ill-used, I'd be bound.
Yes, sir.
And yet you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work.
But it's only once a year, sir.
A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose you must have the whole day. Be here all the earlier next morning.
I shall indeed, sir. Good night, Mr. Scrooge, and a Merry Christmas to you. and Bob Cratchit ran home, fighting the cold wind to be with his family. After all, it was Christmas Eve. Scrooge closed up his counting house. He walked home to his melancholy house.
Hark the herald angels sing, glory.
Christmas, bah humbug!
Scrooge reached his home, closed the door, and double-locked himself in. Scrooge lit a candle and made his way up to his room. He took off his coat and put on his dressing gown and nightcap and sat down in front of a meager fire to eat his bowl of gruel. Scrooge looked around the room and spotted a dismal bell that hung on the wall across from him. As he looked, the bell began to move. Ebenezer Scrooge!
Who's there, I say?
Ebenezer Scrooge! Standing in front of Scrooge was a dreadful, ghostly white apparition, wrapped around in chains, padlocks, and keys, and it was staring at Scrooge.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Who were you, then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
But Jacob's dead. He died 7 years ago.
7 years ago, this very night.
Marley? A ghost? I don't believe it. Oh, mercy, dreadful apparition. Why do you trouble me? Why do spirits walk the earth? And why do they come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men. And if that spirit goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. In life, my spirit never roved beyond the narrow limits of our money-changing home, and weary journeys lie before me.
7 years dead. And traveling all that time? You travel fast?
On the wings of the wind.
You must have got over a quantity of ground in 7 years.
Oh, blind man! Not to know that no space of regret can make amends for one's life opportunities misused. Yet I was like this man. I was once like this man.
But you were always a good man of business, Jacob.
Business? Mankind was my business. But hear me, my time is nearly gone. I cannot tell you all I would. A very little time is permitted me. I cannot rest. I cannot stay. I cannot linger anywhere. Hear me.
Why do you carry these chains?
I wear the chains of greed I forged in life, link by link and yard by yard. I made it of my own free will, as you have done. Your chain is growing even more ponderous than my own. Hear me, Ebenezer.
Yes, Jacob?
I am here tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and a hope of escaping my fate.
Oh, you were always a good friend to me, Jacob. Thank you.
You will be visited by 3 spirits.
Is that the chance and hope you mentioned, Jacob? I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tomorrow night when the bell tolls 1. Expect the second on the next night at the same hour. The third upon the next night when the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate. Look to see me no more. And look that, for your own sake, you remember what has passed between us. Unsettled by this strange encounter with Marley's ghost, and in much need of rest, Scrooge went straight to bed and fell into a fitful sleep.
Oh, come on.
This portion of our show is brought to you by General Off the Couch Hauser.
Hey, kid, how long have you been sitting there playing Xbox?
4 hours?
4 hours? Are you kidding me? Put down that remote. Get up, and I want you to run up and down the stairs. All right, now give me 5 push-ups and clap in between them. All right, now get outside. Shut the door. All right, and run around the block. Watch out for the cat. All right, keep going. Watch Watch out, there's a dog after you! Oh, look, there's Carol. They're singing Joy to the World. Now get back in there. In the house. Shut the door. Now, see, don't you feel better?
Hey, I feel swell.
That's right, kids. Take it from General Off the Couch Hauser.
An active body is a happy body.
And now back to our program of A Christmas Carol on WCAL Radio. Scrooge's bed curtains were suddenly drawn aside. The room was instantly filled with light.
Ebenezer Scrooge!
Scrooge found himself face to face with a strange, unearthly visitor with a kind face bearing not one wrinkle. It wore a long tunic of the purest white, and round its waist was a belt, lustrous and shining. It wore a branch of green holly on the crown of its head.
Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold to me?
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Of Christmas long past?
No, Ebenezer, your past. You will see shadows of the things that have been.
And what business brings you here?
Your welfare. Rise and walk with me.
Oh, not out of the window. I will fall.
Bear but a touch of my hand upon your heart. You shall be upheld in more than this. Come.
Scrooge and the spirit were walking along an open country road on a clear, cold, crisp winter day, with fields on both sides and snow on the ground.
Do you know this place, Ebenezer?
Notice, I was apprenticed to you. Oh, there's Mr. Fezziwig, my old master, bless his heart. And Mrs. Fezziwig alive again. Oh, and there's Doc Wilkins, to be sure. My old friend. Oh, he was very much attached to me. Oh, what parties we had.
Oh, there, Ebenezer. No more work tonight. It's Christmas Eve. Clear away now, my lad, and let's have some room.
Yes, sir. Right away, Mr. Fezziwig.
The room was cleared in the flash of an eye. Tables were brought in laden with food and drink. When all was ready, Fezziwig clapped his hands again.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Fezziwig!
Merry Christmas, Mrs. Fezziwig.
Welcome, everybody, welcome! Let the merriment and dancing begin!
Then came all the young men and women employed in the business and anyone else within hearing distance of the place. Music, maestro, if you please. Shall we dance, Mrs. Fezziwig?
Of course, Mr. Fezziwig!
Up and back again. Arm and round again. Oh, Mrs. Fezziwig.
Ho, ho, Mr. Fezziwig!
What a Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
Oh, the merriest I've seen.
What a party it was. Such laughter and merriment as old Scrooge had ever known. Music and dancing late into the night. Come along, Mrs. Fezziwig.
Coming, Mr. Fezziwig!
Close up then, Ebenezer, my lad.
That I will, Mr. Fezziwig, and a Merry Christmas to you.
And to you, Ebenezer.
Oh, bless his soul. There wasn't a better man alive. How grateful we all were to old Fezziwig for those Christmas Eves.
A small matter to make these silly folks so full of gratitude.
A small matter, Spirit.
Old Fezziwig spent but a few pounds of your mortal money, 3 or 4, perhaps, to make you so full of gratitude. Is that so much that he deserves this praise?
Oh, it isn't that, Spirit. He had the power to make us happy or unhappy, to make our service light or burdensome, a pleasure or a toil. Say that his power lies in words and looks, in things so slight and insignificant that it is impossible to add and count him up. What then? Happiness he gives is quite as great as if it cost a fortune.
What's the matter, Scrooge?
Oh, nothing in particular.
Something, I think.
No, I should like to be able to say a word or two to my clerk, Bob Cratchit, just now. But that's all.
My time grows short. Come with me, quick. Do you know this scene, Scrooge?
The spirit pointed ahead to a fair young lady sitting alone under a tree. In her eyes were tears, which sparkled in the light that shone from the spirit.
Yes, again, it is myself with one I loved. I was a young man on that fatal day, Spirit.
Listen to what they say.
Belle? Belle?
It matters little to you, Ebenezer. Very little. Another idol has replaced me in your heart. I have no just cause to grieve.
What do you mean? What idol has displaced you?
A golden one. You fear the world too much. I have seen your nobler aspirations fall off one by one until the master passion, gain, engrosses you. You have no room left for me in your heart.
No, Belle. Even if I have grown so much wiser, what then? I'm not changed towards you. Ever so released from engagement.
In words? No, never.
Oh, in what then?
In a changed nature. You used to be so different, Ebenezer. We were both poor and content to be so. But your feelings have changed. Now you seek only fortune. So I must release you from your promise to marry me.
It doesn't have to be this way.
I release you with a full heart, Ebenezer, for the love of him you once were. May you be happy in the life you've chosen. May your love of wealth cheer and comfort you in the years to come, as I would have liked to have done. Goodbye, Ebenezer.
Oh, Belle. Belle!
But Belle was gone.
Oh, Spirit. Why do you torture me with this? Remove me from this place.
I told you that these were the shadows of the things that have been. That they are what they are. Do not blame me.
Oh, remove me. I cannot bear it. Take me back. Haunt me no longer.
The ghost's light suddenly burned so bright that Scrooge turned away and hid his face in his hands. When he lifted his eyes, he found himself alone and back in his own room. Overcome and exhausted, Scrooge barely had time to fall into his bed before he sank into a heavy sleep. And now a word from our sponsor.
Miss Darcy's Lost and Found Boutique. Even during a pandemic, Miss Darcy has you covered for all your last-minute gifts for the Cal students on your list. Mismatched socks, uniform tops, and misplaced lunch sacks of all kinds. And new this year, gently used face masks. They come in a variety of colors, prints, and smells. That's right, Miss Darcy's Lost and Found Boutique, where the lost are found and the unclaimed are donated.
You're listening to the annual presentation of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol on WCAL Radio. And now, back to our program. Scrooge awoke with a start, sat up in bed, and rubbed his eyes. Gradually, he became aware of a red glow coming from the next room. Summoning his courage, Scrooge got up, shuffled to the door, opened it.
Hello?
Ha ha ha! Ebenezer Scrooge!
Who's there?
The room glowed red from the roaring fire. The walls and ceiling of the room were decorated with the holly and mistletoe and evergreens of every kind. Every inch of floor was covered with food and gifts of all shapes and sizes, and in the center of it all, high on a stately throne, sat a giant.
Oh, look up and know me better, man. I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look upon me. You have never seen the like of me before.
Never.
The genial giant was clothed in a decorated robe, wearing a huge wreath on his head, and carrying a glowing torch.
You have never walked forth with the younger members of my family, meaning, for I am very young, my elder brothers, born in these later years.
I don't think that I have. I'm afraid I have not. Have you many brothers, Spirit?
More than 1,800. 1,843 to be exact.
A tremendous family to provide for.
Will you come forth with me, Ebenezer Scrooge?
Spirit, conduct me where you will. I went forth last night on compulsion, and I learnt a lesson which is working now. Tonight, if you have aught to teach me, let me profit by it.
Touch my robe.
angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains and the mountains.
They walked unseen past the bakers and the grocers, and then past the poulterers, with the prize turkey proudly displayed in the window. And then they were standing in front of Bob Cratchit's home.
Are the potatoes almost ready, Peter?
Almost, Mother. I can't have lumps on this special occasion.
Do you know this home, Ebenezer?
Why, it's my clerk's home. It's Bob Cratchit's home.
Aye, Bob Cratchit's house, your clerk, Bob, who pockets on Saturdays but 15 copies of his Christian name. Listen.
What has ever got your precious father, then? And your brother, Tiny Tim? And Martha wasn't as late last Christmas Day by half an hour.
Oh, here's Martha, Mother. Hurrah! Oh, there's such a goose, Martha.
Why, bless your heart alive, my dear. How late you are.
We'd a deal of work to finish up last night, and I had to clear away this morning, Mother.
Well, never mind. So long as you are come. Sit ye down by the fire, my dear, and have a warm. Lord bless ye.
Where's Father?
He's been to church with Tiny Tim. They'll be along soon.
How is Tiny Tim, Mother? Any better at all?
Sometimes I think he is. And sometimes I think, oh dear God, if anything should happen to Tiny Tim.
Mother, you mustn't even think such a thing.
No, no. Oh, here's Father and Tiny Tim coming. Hide, Martha, hide.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Where's our Martha?
Not coming, Bob.
Not coming? Not coming on Christmas Day?
I'm here, Father.
Martha!
Merry Christmas, Father. Merry Christmas, Tim.
Merry Christmas, Martha.
Oh, I'm so glad to be home.
And how did Tiny Tim behave in church,
Oh,
Bob?
he's good as gold and better.
I like church, Mother. They sang the nicest songs.
You know, he told me coming home that he hoped the people saw him in the church because he was a cripple.
I thought it might be pleasant to them to remember, upon Christmas Day, who made the lame beggars walk and blind men see.
Oh, bless you, my son. Bless you. Come, everyone. Take your places at the table.
And now God bless us.
Is the punch ready, Bob?
It is. And for the first toast, I'll give you, Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
A toast to me.
The founder of the feast, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon, and I'd hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
Oh, dear me.
My dear, the children, Christmas Day.
It should be Christmas Day, I'm sure, on which one drinks the health of such an odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you do, poor fellow.
My dear, Christmas Day.
I'll drink to his health for your sake, Robert, and the day's sake, but not his. A long life to him, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. I'm sure he'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
Ah, good. Welcome, a very Merry Christmas to us all, my dears. God bless us.
I say, God bless Mr. Scrooge, and God bless us, everyone.
Spirit, tell me if Tiny Tim will live.
Oh, I see a vacant seat at the table, and a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved.
Oh, no, Spirit. Say he'll be spared.
If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die. But what of that? If he's going to die, he had better do it and decrease the surplus population.
Scrooge hung his head to hear his own words quoted by the Spirit and was overcome with penitence and grief. Many calls Scrooge made that night with the ghost of Christmas present. Much they saw and far they went, and many places they visited, but always with a happy end. It was a long night, and if it were only a night, and it was strange that while Scrooge remained unaltered in his outward form, the ghost grew older, clearly older.
My time has come. Ebenezer, remember well what you have learned.
Spirit, as I look upon your robe, forgive me if I'm not justified in asking, but I see something strange and not belonging to yourself protruding from your skirts. Is it a foot or a claw?
Pulling back the robes, the ghost revealed two children, wretched, frightened, and hideous. They knelt down at the ghost's feet, clinging to the outside of the garment.
Spirit, are they yours?
They are man's. The boy is ignorance, and the girl is want. Beware them both.
Have they no refuge or resource?
What of them? Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
Scrooge looked about him for the ghost. It had disappeared.
I am in the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
You are.
Ghost of the future, I fear you more than any spirit I have seen. But as I know your purpose is to do me good, and as I hope to live to be a better man from what I was, I am prepared to bear you company, and do it with a thankful heart.
Follow me.
Lead on, lead on. The night is waning fast, and it is precious time to me. I know. Lead on, Spirit.
Stop here, on this corner. Listen.
No, I don't know much about it either way. I only know that he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
Well, I thought he'd never die. What was the matter with him?
Oh, God knows.
What has he done with his money?
I haven't heard. He hasn't left it to me, that's all I know. It's likely to be a very cheap funeral.
Upon my life, I don't know of anybody who would go to it.
I wouldn't mind going, if a lunch was provided.
Spirit, I don't know why you attach any importance to such a trivial conversation. Have you some hidden purpose in showing me this?
Follow me, Ebenezer Scrooge, to yet another scene.
Look here. Here's our chops.
What have you got to sell? What have you got?
Half a minute's patience and you shall see. Every person has the right to take care of himself. He always did. Who's the worse for the loss of a few old things like these? Not a dead man, I suppose.
No, I suppose not. Not even a dead man.
If he'd been more natural in his lifetime, he'd have had somebody to look after him when he was struck with death, instead of lying, gasping out his breath there, alone by himself.
Oh, it's the truest word that was ever spoken. It's a judgment upon him.
I wish it was a little heavier judgment, and it should have been. You may depend on it. If I could have laid my hands on anything else. Open that bundle and let me know the value of it. Speak it out, plain.
What have you got? What have you... Bed curtains?
Ah, bed curtains!
You don't mean to say you took them down with them lionets?
Yes, I did. And why not? Don't drop that oil upon the blankets now.
These blankets?
Whose else's do you think? He isn't likely to take cold without him, I dare say. He frightened everyone away from him when he was alive to profit us when he was dead.
I see. The case of this unhappy man might be my own. My life tends that way now. Spirit, let me see some tenderness connected with death or with this dark chamber. Spirit will be forever present to me.
Follow me.
Bob Cratchit's home again. But why are they all so quiet? What's that the boy is reading?
And he took a little child and set him in the midst of them. What's the matter, Mother? Why have you stopped your needlework?
The color hurts my eyes. They're better now again. It makes them weak to work by candlelight. And I wouldn't show weak eyes to your father when he comes home for the world. It must be near his time.
Past it, rather. But I think he walks a little slower since Tiny Tim is gone.
I've known him to walk with Tiny Tim on his shoulder, very fast indeed.
And so have I, often.
But Tiny Tim was very light to carry, and his father loved him so that it was no trouble. No trouble.
There's Father at the door.
Hello, dear family.
You're late, dear. You went to the grave today, then, Robert?
Yes, my dear. I wish you could have gone. Oh, it would have done you good to see how green a place it is. But you'll see it often. I promised Tiny Tim that I would walk him there on a Sunday. My little child. My little boy.
Spirit, something tells me that our parting moment is at hand. I know it, but I know not how. Before you leave me, answer me one question. Are these shadows of things that will be, or are they shadows of things that may only be?
Men's courses will foreshadow certain ends, to which, if persevered in, they must lead. But if the courses be departed from, the end will change.
Say that it is thus what you show me, Spirit. Hear me. I am not the man I was. I will not be the man I must have. Why show me this if I am past all hope? Or show me that I may change with these shadows that have shown me by an altered life. I will honor Christmas in my heart. I will try to keep it all year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach.
Holding up his hands in a last prayer to have his fate reversed, he saw an alteration in the phantom's hood and dress. It shrunk, collapsed, and dwindled down into a bedpost. And the bedpost was his own.
Why, morning. Clear, bright day, and I am in my own room. Hello there. What's today?
Eh?
What's today, my fine fellow?
Today? Why, today is Christmas Day.
It's Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. Hello there, fine fellow.
Hello?
Do you know the poulterers? In the next street but one at the corner.
I hope I did.
Oh, an intelligent boy, remarkable boy. Did you know whether they sold the prize turkey that was hanging up there? Not the little prize turkey, the big one.
What? The one as big as me?
Oh, what a delightful boy. It's such a pleasure to talk to him. Yes, my buck.
It's hanging there now.
Is it? Go buy it.
Walker.
No, I am in earnest. Go and buy it and tell him to bring it here that I may give the man the direction where to take it. Come back with the man and I'll give you a shilling. Come back here with him in less than 5 minutes and I'll give you half a crown. I'll send it to Bob Cratchit's. He shan't know who sends it. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim. Oh, Joe Miller never made such a joke as saying the Bob will be.
Scrooge dressed himself all in his best and at last got out into the streets. The people were by this time pouring forth. He went to church and walked about the streets and watched the people hurrying to and fro and patted children on the head. He had never dreamed that such a walk, that anything, could give him so much happiness. Scrooge was early at the office the next morning. He had set his heart upon getting there early and finding Bob Cratchit coming late. The clock struck 9. No Bob. 1/4 past. No Bob. He was a full 18 minutes and a half behind his time.
He's late. The day after Christmas and Bob Cratchit's late for work. Oh, there he comes. Hello. What do you mean by coming here at this time of day, Bob Cratchit?
I'm very sorry, sir. I am behind my time.
You are? Yes, I think you are. Step this way, if you please, sir.
It was only once a year, sir. It shall not be repeated. I was making rather merry myself yesterday, sir.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, my friend. I'm not going to stand this sort of thing any longer.
Oh, no.
And therefore, I'm about to raise your salary. A Merry Christmas, Bob! A merry Christmas, Bob, my good fellow, than I have given you for many a year. I'll raise your salary and endeavor to assist your struggling family. Oh, and we shall discuss your affairs in this very afternoon over a Christmas bowl of steaming hot Bishop, Bob. Make up the fires and buy a second coal scuttle before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city knew. It was always said of him that he knew well how to keep Christmas. May that truly be said of us and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed,
God bless us, everyone.
This concludes our broadcast of Charles Dickens' timeless classic, A Christmas Carol. We hope you've enjoyed our special program. We invite you to tune in with us next year when we once again bring you this timeless tale of Christmas cheer. And now, all of our cast and crew here at WCAL would like to wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as we enjoy putting it together. Again, that was the faculty from Rock Creek sharing A Christmas Carol radio play with you and your family. I'm going to really miss doing this with my Rock Creek friends each year. We cram into a little room and we're all there scrunched together with our little microphones. Our sound guy, Drew, really does a great job helping us get that worked out. And I hope this is one of the traditions that maybe we can bring over to English Station next year, that we can do it live in the classrooms there, and you can sit and listen on the intercom to the Christmas Carol radio play. So God bless you. I'm glad we were able to give this to you and your family. Again, please feel free to share it or listen to it again. I think we did a really good job. So, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day, to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. From God our Heavenly Father, a blessed angel came, and unto certain shepherds brought tidings of the same, how that in Bethlehem was born the Son of God by name. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy.